Welcome to this season's last episode of The Buzz. I'm your host, JT Arose.
And I'm your host, Melissa Johnson.
Get ready, it's the last show. You don't want to miss it. It's time to get into our pop culture countdown of the week. Rolling in at number 3, get ready for some new music from Kanye West. Woo. Fans are excited about Kanye's recent return to Twitter after an 11th month absence and the fact that he's also dropping 2 new albums this summer. The rapper tweeted that he's releasing a 7-track solo album on June 1st and a collaboration album with Kid Cudi called Kids See Ghosts on June 8th. Yeezy also shared that we can expect new albums from Pusha T, Nas, and Tiana Taylor in the upcoming months.
Oh, I'm so excited about this.
How excited are you for Kanye's music?
We haven't heard from Kanye in a while.
Yeah, since Life of Pablo 2016, that little era right there.
And he's such a musical genius, of course, and I'm so excited for Kid Cudi. He's a talent,
exactly.
Too, so
and this is, they've collaborated before, so getting to see them back, on an album together, I'm so excited to see how that'll, sound to fans as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Well, coming in at number 2, we have some unfortunate news. On Friday, we lost one of the world's most successful DJs and a huge name in the electronic dance music community. Avicii, whose real name is Tim Bergling, was found dead in Muscat, Oman at the age of 28. The cause of the superstar's death has not been released, but according to CNN, authorities have ruled out any criminal suspicion. He struggled with health issues in the past, and in 2016, he decided to take a break from live touring and the exhausting life that comes with it. He was best known for his hits, Wake Me Up and Levels. Let's check out a short clip of the Levels music video, which has brought in over 300 million views on YouTube to date. So sad. We also lost Vern Troyer, who was known as the Mini-Me in Austin Powers. He was 49 years old. No cause of death was released, but in a statement posted on Troyer's social media, it mentioned that he was going through a lot of adversity, and it went on to say that depression and suicide are very serious issues. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, so sad to hear about Vern, but I know for me, I was very triggered when I heard Avicii passed away because Levels was one of my favorite EDM songs, and I remember being young and like pumping my fist. So even when I was driving by and I heard that song playing, I just got very emotional because of it.
Yeah, it is sad. And he was a huge talent, a huge inspiration for many.
For many people.
And, he was in the studio working on some new music. Wow. He took a break, as he said, because he was dealing with anxiety and some issues with alcohol. So that is a really sad case. And also with Vern Troyer, we don't know his cause of death yet, but I mean, I'm assuming that it might be.
And those will be released in the media soon.
Very soon.
Well, coming in at the number 1 spot, we have some major royal news. Prince William and Kate have welcomed a healthy baby boy into the world. Just hours ago, the couple presented their newborn to the public and posed for pictures outside, which have now been released. According to Vanity Fair, the royal baby was born at 11:01 a.m. local time in Paddington, West London, and weighs 8 pounds and 7 ounces. The royal baby is 5th in line to the British throne after grandfather Prince Charles, father Prince William, and his 2 siblings, Prince George and Princess Charlotte. The baby's name should be announced in a few days.
I'm so excited. She looks so happy.
So happy. I love this royal family. I love royal babies, and I'm just so excited to see how, the pictures that come out and, how, like, the personality even. I'm so excited to see what the baby boy's
Right. I'm ready to hear the name, and I know the baby will be in attendance at the royal wedding on May 19th.
Which we're all watching.
Yeah, we are all going to watch that,
and then there's rumors that Pippa Middleton might actually be pregnant as well. So how exciting would that be for the 2 sisters, Kate and Pippa, to kind of share in that moment of like, we both have kids, they're about to have kids. I think
first cousins are the best.
First cousins
are so much fun.
Yes.
The world is so excited for this baby, but we're all dying to know what the royal couple will name this newborn. USC students are talking to Charity on campus about what they think the little boy should be named.
Thanks, JT and Melissa. A baby has been born to the royal family, and we're on the campus of USC trying to figure out what should the royals name their newest baby. Albert is sadly in last place, which is my favorite name up here, which means noble and bright. Arthur and Philip are neck and neck, but I have a feeling that Philip might take the prize. Tweet us what you think at USC The Buzz. And let's throw it back to Allegra in the studio.
I agree with everyone else. I think Philip is really adorable. Hi, everyone. My name is Allegra Gutierrez, and this is Monday Minute. It's a sad Monday here in California as Coachella has finally come to a close. Weekend oneers historically hate on Weekend 2, but it definitely held its own this year against hate and wind. The beloved Do Lab stage was hit by 90-mile-per-hour winds on Tuesday, leaving its roof tapestry shredded. Luckily, it was up and running by Friday, water cannons and all. It was also so windy that campsites didn't open until Friday instead of the usual Thursday morning. As for appearances, Jay-Z and Destiny's Child came out for Beyoncé's set yet again, while Ariana Grande stole the show with Kygo Saturday night. The most memorable moment of the night, though, was Kygo's tribute to the late Avicii, who passed away on Friday. Kygo paid a heartwarming tribute to Avicii on Saturday, calling him a true genius and his biggest musical inspiration. He then ended his set with his favorite Avicii song, Levels. Take a look at this video one fan took from the crowd.
But today is a very sad day for music. The news that Avicii passed away, only 28 years old. Avicii was my biggest musical inspiration, and he was the reason why I started making electronic music.
That's what everyone was talking about this week on Monday Minute. Let's get ready to hear about Heather McDonald's The Juicy Scoop.
Thanks, Allegra. For our last guest of the season, we are joined today by famed comedian, New York Times best-selling author, podcaster, and USC alum, Heather McDonald. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me. This is a fun show you guys have.
And so Heather hosts a podcast on Tuesdays and Thursdays called Juicy Scoop, where she talks about the juiciest and most controversial topics and has some famous guests. Let's take a quick look at Juicy Scoop.
What about Taylor Swift? Would you date her?
Well, I've met Taylor.
Oh, and you have? But you wouldn't ask her out because you're afraid you'd be in a song.
So what inspired you to create a podcast and just get Juicy Scoop started?
Well, I've been in the business a long time. After SC, I didn't study anything that has to do with any of this. I just basically was a sorority girl, Gamma Phi Beta, and went to the games. So after I graduated, then I started doing stand-up and Groundlings and had TV shows. I wrote White Chicks with the Wayans Brothers. I did a bunch of things. And then I started working and writing and appearing on Chelsea Lately, which was on E! For 7 years. So when that show ended, I really kind of missed the daily of, because our show was 5 days a week, of what's going on in pop culture. So I decided to do a podcast. And honestly, it's like the surprise in my career. I'm absolutely like blown away that it's so popular. I make more money, I'm more successful doing this podcast than I ever was when I was on TV, which is a really interesting thing about the medium. And just that people are obsessed and are really loyal to it. They listen to it regularly every Tuesday and Thursday. If for any reason it's up late, I get like the angry tweets that I ruined their commute, like they have to have it. And then I go and I do live Juicy Scoops as well as my stand-up. So I'll go to a city like Nashville. I'm going to that one in May. And one night I'll do the live Juicy Scoop. One night I'll do stand-up, or vice versa. And some people come to both. And so the live stand-ups are always different, and the stand-up, the live Juicy Scoop is always different, and then the stand-up, of course, changes too. But it's a little bit more like I'll have a special guest, I'll have a Real Housewife on or whatever, as well as other comedians to do the live Juicy Scoop taping. So it's been really fun, and like I said, a real surprise. I kind of did it just to give me something to do on Mondays,
Yes. And so what do you prefer? Do you prefer doing live performance or like the recorded podcast?
Well, doing the stand-up is great. To walk out and see that all these people got a sitter and came to see me, because back in the day when I was doing the Comedy Store and everything, I had to beg my sorority sisters to come see me. I had to beg people just to come. So to know that like a show is sold out months in advance, which it is in Chicago and New York, is really exciting. But I love the immediate response I get through social media and through my different Facebook groups and stuff of right when I put out a podcast, I get all that they loved the guest, that they thought, they'll quote me and I don't even remember what I said and how funny it was. So it's just, it's really nice to know that it's like for the first time in my career, I actually am hearing about people who listened to me when they got chemo, and like all the reasons that I chose to become a comedian was like that I could bring joy to someone that's hurting, to think that the podcast does that and that it's all me. After working on a full TV show like I did with networks and everything, this is solely, I decide everything. I have someone who works with me, but we book it, we edit it, we post it, we get the ads, but nobody can tell me what to say, what not to do. And maybe that's why it's so popular. I don't know. It's really being your authentic self in that, and they're hearing you every day. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and so you mentioned the Real Housewives.
Yes.
And recently there was a video posted on Instagram of you and Real Housewife Kelly Dodd. Let's take a quick look at that meeting.
Holy smokes.
Well, hello.
Well, hello. We had a successful
little secret meeting.
You'll find out about shortly.
Yeah.
So that secret meeting, any chance you could be a Real Housewife, or was that simply related to Juicy Scoop?
Well, we did say secret meeting because that's what everybody always does on social media. Like, I don't know what's happening at NBC Universal. You know, it's like nothing's happening there. You're just getting lunch. But you want to get that buzz going. But just logistically, it would be very hard for me to join the OC Housewives because I live all the way in the Woodland Hills, Calabasas area. But we were working on a little something fun that hopefully will happen, that you'll see us do something together. I have become real friends with many of the Real Housewives because I was at first a fan, and then they come on the show. And my podcast, you know, I interviewed them for over an hour. And, you know, I clicked with a lot of them, so it's great. And then they come do the live ones too when I'm doing Irvine in June. So we'll see. But yeah, it would be fun to be a housewife, to just not have to worry about writing material and performing, and you can just get paid to look pretty and drink and fight with women in their 40s. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right?
Yeah. And so you were at USC, and you wrote a book about your experiences called You'll Never Blue Ball in This Town Again.
That's right.
What is your favorite USC memory that didn't make it into the book?
Oh my God, there were so many. I was probably just telling you some. Probably that they used to haze us. We used to actually have hazing. And one of the things that we had to do was they took all the girls in this room and they gave us this big chocolate cake and they said, you have to finish this cake. And, you know, we had some girls that wanted to stay thin and didn't want to eat the cake. And I loved cake, so I'm like, I will be a true sister, and I started to eat it, and then they're like, no, Heather, we're joking. Like, it was just, but I was like, oh, okay. I thought I had to like take one for the team and just like be a big fatty. But it there were so many. We went to the 9-0. I used to go to the games. Like, I love it. It's much nicer now. The area surrounding it's nicer.
Yeah.
It's much harder to get into. However, my kids don't know that, so I tell them all the time, yes, I had a 4.6. I don't know why you don't. A lot of people should know that it was not that hard. But it's still so great to say that I went to USC. Love to brag about it. Yes.
Yeah. And personally, I'm very happy the hazing no longer happens. So thank you so much for joining us today. And if you're in Nashville on May 4th, be sure to check out Heather's show at the City Winery. And if you can't make it, don't worry. Her show from DC on May 10th will be broadcast live on Juicy Scoop, so you can listen from wherever you are. Now, let's toss it over to Carity to see what USC students think the Royals should name their new baby.
Thanks, Megan. The results are in, and it is just how I predicted. Philip came in first place, only by 2 points before Arthur. And Albert didn't get too much love, even though I think Prince Albert would be a great name. Well, the princess and prince still have time to pick a name, but if USC has any control, Philip, there will be another Philip in the family. Thanks. But tweet us what you think. We've gotten some names like Solomon and James. Maybe you have another name that isn't on this board. Tweet us at USC The Buzz. And now let's see what's buzzing with Shara.
Hi everyone, my name is Shira Namvar and welcome to What's Buzzing. We've got you covered on what everybody buzzed about this week on social media, whether it's your favorite celeb, a heartfelt post, or even someone's 15 minutes of fame. This photo of former presidents and first ladies went viral as they all posed alongside each other happily at former First Lady Barbara Bush's funeral, putting politics aside. At the service, Melania was spotted smiling and sharing a laugh with Obama, which quickly prompted followers to joke about how much fun she seemed to be having away from President Trump. Political commentator Bob Cesca cracked a joke on Twitter advising not to tweet this photo to President Trump. And if that doesn't bring a smile to your face, maybe this will. Jimmy Kimmel posted a sweet Instagram Saturday celebrating his son's first birthday with a touching thank you to the doctors and nurses who helped save Billy's life. An adorable photo of Billy wearing a birthday hat and a bow tie was captioned, "Today, we thank the nurses and doctors at Cedars-Sinai and Children's LA who saved his life and those who shared thoughts and prayers." But of course, what is a social media rundown without a mystery? Justin Bieber sent fans rolling on the floor laughing after sharing an image of his own face photoshopped on Beyoncé's body. He captioned the photo calling it his sister, which gathered over 5 million likes and endless comments, including one from Jaden Smith saying, "She's bad," and Patrick Schwarzenegger commented, "Bro, set me up. We can finally be brothers." That's it for this week on What's Buzzing. Let's toss it back to our anchors at the desk.
I am so done with Justin Bieber posting that picture. That
crazy.
Is hilarious. Well, that is it for this semester, this season.
It's so sad.
It is so sad, but it's been awesome working with you. If you all do not know, JT has been a major help. This is my first season working with the Buzz, and it's been so smooth because I've had her right alongside me, and of course our wonderful producers as well. So it's been an amazing experience.
Yeah, it feels like it's an end of an era, and of course my biggest joy has been dishing on pop culture news with you all watching, and just getting to work with different producers and all my lovely segment hosts and co-hosts. So I'm just so excited to see where the Buzz goes after we leave. But you can still keep up with the Buzz on our social media pages in the fall. So for the last time,
she is tearing up. JT's a crier.
For the last time for the Buzz, I'm JT.
And I'm Alicia. Thank you so much for watching. Don't cry.